Hey everybody, welcome back to Thumb FPV. Today I just want to go over a little bit of information in the FPV world as I do a flight here. Been following the FAA lawsuit with Race Day Quads, Tyler running them. A lot of neat information in there. I don't know if you've been keeping up on that or not. I've been trying to. A lot of the stuff that they are explaining why they are doing what they are doing, along with the aspect of how the FAA didn't follow a proper course of action with their lawsuit, or they're mandating the remote ID / Part 107 that they're trying to implement on us all. It's a lot. There's quite a bit in there to sit down and just read. So I'm going to leave some links in the description below, and you can check those out at your leisure. I'm going to try to compile a good list so you can have a good overview on what you're looking at there. But today I'm just going to get out here, fly, do a little bit of talking, and relax. It's a nice day out, so I figured to get outside. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel today. Now, today I'm going to go over the FAA lawsuit a little bit. Not in depth, because there's already so many videos out there, so much information that if you really want it, I mean, it's already there. But for the people that don't know what it is, or have heard about it, briefly skimmed past it, thought, well, you know, this doesn't apply to me, whatever. If you are in the hobby, this most certainly applies to all of us. So what I'm going to talk about today during this little flight, just want to go over a couple things and talk to you about my feelings on this. So what the FAA did, they were trying to make remote ID a thing, which they are still trying to do. They don't have enough of a setup ready to be able to put this into production or anything like that. Not to mention that nobody else wants to do it. Anybody that is going to do it is going to do it just to keep the hobby going, if it is made mandatory that we have remote ID, which hopefully it's not, because of many violations, the Fourth Amendment, Privacy Acts. People just not feeling this. And it literally serves no purpose other than just creating an additional information highway that is available to the open public that people don't need. Just leads to a lot of room for people to be harassed, and that's not needed. So what the FAA did was they created an NPRM. What an NPRM is, a notice of prepared rulemaking, for those that don't know. This is a notice that any independent agency of the United States government can make to add, remove, change a law, a rule, a regulation, and this is all part of the rulemaking process. This is something that they can do. This is something that they've done. Part 107 is now a thing. There are certain guidelines that have to be followed for this. A big part of that being that it has to be done publicly. There's a very specific process to get to filing this. Also, a part of that is that a rule cannot be made just because somebody wants to make a rule. There has to be a very specific set of reasons, goals behind it. There has to be an established threat, if you will. There is a situation that has presented itself within the community, public, whatever, that is currently not being regulated. Somebody says something about it, it happens enough. Now the government steps in, a branch of it, presents it to the government, and then they make a law process from there and establish what things aren't allowed. They have to have a lot of facts to this, though. Like, they can't just make anything up and walk in there. A lot has to be done to get this started. The problem that I'm seeing with this so far is that, one, which a lot of people have said, that this was not done openly, this was not done publicly, it was rushed through, pretty much just slid in the back door, and there wasn't a whole lot of information given to people that it would affect to be able to give anybody time to say anything about it, which sounds like something that, you know, the government would do, because like they would want us to be able to stand up for ourselves. So one of the big things that they're talking about is that it wasn't done with the right amount of steps and order, and I agree. I think this is a load of crap. Now, some of the stuff as far as getting into commercial droning and everything like that, if you are a farmer, if you are spraying fields with chemicals, if you are in the construction business, or if you are in the delivery business, if you are going to be having things that are traveling out literally miles, 10, 15, 20 miles, with heavy payloads. I mean, if you have 5, 10, 15, I don't know, 55 pounds is what is covered up to with Part 107. But I mean, if you have anything that the average everyday enthusiast would not have, then I can understand where this is coming from. But they have taken and they have just cut it down to literally nothing. 250 grams, that's nothing. I have a buddy literally tried making the Armaton Tadpole, couldn't even put the CADX Vista in it without the battery and have it be under 250 grams. He was running like 269, and as I said, that's with no battery. So that doesn't make any sense. The drone is literally minute. You can take the props off it, you could throw it in your pocket, it's not going to hurt anything. You cannot attach anything that's going to hurt anybody else to something that small. And the other thing is that the photography aspect of this is why so many of us do it. Like, this is like the biggest adrenaline rush that you could possibly have out of the blue in real lifetime experiences and have hands-on control over. It is extremely fun. It is by far the coolest hobby that I have ever gotten into. And the fact that now, as long as you are way less than 250 grams with the battery for your drone, that you can fly, but if you use any of your video footage, then you're automatically considered a commercial drone pilot. That does not make any sense at all. At all. I want to fly my drone. I'm using line of sight, or I have a spotter with me, even if I am not under 250 grams. If I have a Part 107 person with me, then I can still fly. But when it comes down to me, I am not allowed to use my video footage in any way to make any money with. I'm not getting that. It doesn't make any sense. That's like saying, okay, look, what would be a similar step to that? You go to the store, you buy a camera. You're out, you're taking pictures of just nature. I live in the thumb of Michigan. There's a lot of beautiful scenery out here. We have the lakes, there's forest, we have parks, inland ponds, things like that. There's a lot of sporting around here, hunting, fishing. That's like saying if you go to the store and you buy a camera and you go out into nature and you start taking pictures of the trees and stuff like that, that you have to go pay tax to DNR because you are taking a photo of the world. That doesn't make any sense. But what Tyler Brennan has done, he has decided that he is going to create a lawsuit and has filed openly against the FAA, which is great. He does not wish to terminate the Part 107 altogether. Instead, he is just trying to simply mandate that there is a split between business and the hobby. So I'm going to leave some of the links in the description for this video below for you guys to check out. He has been in business since 2016. 5 years later, now all of a sudden the government has a problem with some stuff, and they're just going to pipe up and, oh, you can't do this and can't do that. Check this out seriously, because right now this is the only guy that is fighting for our hobby. You should be too. I contribute to this. I would appreciate it if people would look into this and try to help him out, because he is literally our only chance that we have right now of these people just walking all over us. We really need to put an end to this, because things are getting out of hand. Well, that's my video for today. This is Thumb FPV. Thank you for watching. I'll have another video up soon.